Max refused to move out of my house after our breakup, so I packed his life where he'd never find it. Breaking up with someone is hard enough without them squatting in your house like a barnacle with separation anxiety. My ex Marcus turned, I need time to find a place, into a year-long hostage situation. And I don't mean that metaphorically. He literally held my life hostage with manipulation, lies, and enough hoarded junk to film an episode of Buried Alive. It started simple. When I told him we were done, he got quiet and said he just needed a few weeks to get back on his feet. Fair enough, I'm not heartless. But weeks turned into months. First it was, the rental market is crazy right now. Then, my credit score needs work. Then, I can't afford deposits until my bonus comes through. Each excuse came with sulking. Each delay with a new pile of gaming equipment he'd stack in the spare room. By month 3, his temporary stuff had colonized the home office, both hall closets and half the basement. He bought shelving units and started organizing his collectibles like he was establishing a museum. The manipulation escalated. He'd wait up for me on nights I worked late, sitting in the dark living room, just wanting to talk. When I'd walk past him to bed, he'd text paragraphs about how I was emotionally abusing him by not communicating. He started documenting everything on his phone. Every conversation, every time I was cold, every supposedly hostile text. Just keeping track, he'd say, waving his phone. By month 6, he was parking his truck in the garage without asking, had his mail forwarded to my address, and was telling the neighbors we were taking a break but working on it. Mr. Chen next door asked when we were getting back together. I wanted to scream. Month 9, he got bold. He started redecorating and threw out my dining chairs because they hurt his back. He mounted his 75-inch TV on my living room wall and said it was non-negotiable. The hoarding hit critical mass with sports memorabilia, vinyl records he never played, and boxes of computer parts for builds he'd never complete. My home looked like a Best Buy had explosive diarrhea. I tried being firm. Marcus, you need to leave by the end of the month. He'd nod and agree, then suddenly develop mysterious back problems that required him to work from home. After a full year of living in his personal warehouse, I finally hit my limit. I sat him down and laid it out straight. This ends now. I'll pay for movers. I'll help you pack. But you're gone by Friday. He smiled. Not his fake sad smile, but something cold. Actually, I'm not going anywhere. He pulled out his phone and showed me screenshots of texts where I'd been short with him and videos of him looking devastated. I've documented a year of domestic abuse, emotional terrorism, financial control. Try to evict me, and I'll file a restraining order against you in your own home. He leaned back satisfied. Then he said, I like it here. I'm staying indefinitely. That weekend, he left for his annual fantasy football draft weekend in Atlantic City. 2 days, 48 hours. I knew what I had to do. I didn't sleep for those 2 days. I became a moving machine fueled by rage and espresso. Rented the biggest truck they had, got a storage unit across town, and went to work. But here's where I got creative. I didn't just move his stuff. I moved it strategically. His gaming PC, the one he needed for his streaming side hustle, went in first, shoved all the way to the back corner. Then his work laptop, the one he'd need immediately when he got back. Everything he'd need in the next week went in first, trapped behind a Tetris wall of his own hoarding. The real artistry came in the packing. I wrapped his signed jerseys in his dirty laundry, stuffed his organized collectible boxes with random cables and chargers, mixed his important documents folder with his old magazines. By hour 36, that storage unit looked like a 10 by 10 game of Jenga, designed by Satan himself. You'd need an archaeology degree and a forklift to find anything useful. He came home Sunday night to empty rooms and a storage unit key on the counter. The rage was beautiful. He called the cops and 6 of them showed up. But when I explained the situation, showed them receipts for the storage unit I'd graciously paid for 6 months in advance, they shrugged. Civil matter. He screamed about his gaming setup, his work laptop, his signed Michael Jordan jersey. I suggested he check the storage unit. It's all there, I said. Every single thing. He spent 5 days excavating that unit to find his work laptop. Missed 3 important meetings. Lost a promotion he'd been working toward. Had to buy a new setup for streaming because he couldn't find his equipment. The best part? The storage unit was in his name, but the credit card on file was linked to my account, the one I canceled the day after he retrieved his laptop. He missed 2 payments before they locked him out. Last I heard, they auctioned everything, even the Jordan jersey. Funny how indefinitely turned into about 6 months after all.